And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Alright, I don't have a lot of preamble here. This is the second video in my Descent Lieutenant series. If you want to see how lieutenants work and what I think about them, you can check the first one. This is going to be a quick video that shows you the first 10 lieutenants for Descent, and we're going to compare and take a look at them, and maybe you can decide which ones you want to add. Possibly, you're going to just want to pick the ones whose models you'll use in your campaigns, but perhaps other things will change your mind. Here we go. Okay, we're going to go from weakest, kind of, to strongest. So we're going to start here with Splig. Splig, as you can see, depending on the people fighting him, he could be a pretty potent guy by himself. He's all about organizing hordes of goblins. He's a goblin ambush card that he can attack with. Overfed. He works with wilderness people. I love his little card here, Meat Shield, where basically he can, instead of him taking the damage, he can stick someone else in front next to him. Emergency rations, goblin ambush. Splig himself is all about sticking someone else in front of him, although he is a pretty decent fighter, rolling a blue, red, and yellow die on the 2 or a blue, red on the 1. So it's not that he's nothing. I don't think he makes heroes cower in fear, but at least he's a pretty solid presence on the battlefield. Then we have my least favorite of all of them. And I'm not saying least favorite. She's just so icky. She drinks blood. She's been around since Runebound days. Lady Eliza Farrow works with dark monsters. And you can see right here she has Sacrifice and Blood Call. Sacrifice lets her do 5 damage to a monster next to her to heal herself up. And Blood Call lets her... when she hits somebody, she recovers damage with the attack. Now, fortunately, her attacks aren't that powerful, but all her things, I mean, she can like transfer hit points from one monster to the other, and she's all about working with dark monsters. Fangs in the dark, the power of the blood, scent of blood. Yeah, thanks, Eliza. Let's move on to someone a little bit nicer. Now, this guy seems like he would be an upstanding gentleman. Ryan Olavine. I mean, he's pretty strong and has some good defense, but he doesn't really hit people that much. He has influence, though, which lets him pick someone next to him, and he can perform an action with them. That's crazy powerful. You have to be really careful not to let this guy get close to you. He's all about being annoying. Friend or foe. Who's attacking who? Thieves Guild. You know, he's kind of like a Merchant's Guild, the Shadow Council. He's kind of like this guy that you have who at the beginning of the movie you think he's on your side, and at the end you find out that he's really a bad guy. Here you can make somebody, if they fail the test, you get 2 threat tokens. So, you know, false informant, one of us. There's just all these things about him. The deceitful scribe. Use this card during you spend experience points. You get an experience point. So basically he can transfer threat tokens into experience points. He's an annoying guy. When he shows up at the battlefield, people don't scream, but they're like, we need to get rid of this guy because he's so annoying. Then we have the next from the Pharaoh clan. This guy has Aftershock. Now, this guy's a much stronger bad guy when he comes out of the field. He has Aftershock. There's a possibility that he can hurt people. He can start people on fire, will ignite them and attack everyone next to him with her. And he's also dark, like his sister. Actually, I'm not really sure how they're related. Maybe they're married. The Dark Mark, the Grasping Grave. Whenever a hero performs a stand-up action or is revived, they only get a little bit of health back, which is really annoying to the heroes. Masks, Thaumaturgy, the Bolt from the Blue. This is a cool one. Basically, he can hit you with a bolt from anywhere, a magical bolt, which is pretty cool and something you would expect from a big bad guy. Then we have this guy, Verminus. Now, this guy looks big and tough, but he's really not. His name is actually correct as Verminus. I guess he's tough, but he's not as, you know, when this guy comes out, you're like, oh no, what does this guy do? He's not so powerful himself. In fact, half of what he is, he's stealthy. It's harder to hit him. And he can scheme to get extra Overlord cards. He has a master plan. And that's what he's about. He's all about helping out the other monsters on the field. Infestation, in every shadow, an envious swarm. About using other monsters to help attack. He's a good leader, I suppose, out there. And then he's hard to hit himself. So again, he's another one of those more of an annoying guys. Now, you want to talk about big, bad, tough guys. Belthier is one of those. This guy, if you played the first Descent, 2nd edition, you met this guy in an arena, and he fought against you, or he sent a bunch of other people. He has fly and poison. And he is basically an honorable guy, and he cuts deals and works with you. And sometimes, like this cut deal card I like a lot, he can tap this card basically. If the heroes win, they get 25 gold, while the overlord gets a threat token. While if the overlord wins, he gets 2 threat tokens, and the heroes get 25 gold. So basically, he's giving the heroes gold to get more threat tokens, which is a really interesting deal, and you'll probably want to use it every round, and the heroes will be kind of glad, except those threat tokens will come back to bite them later on. And his stuff is cheaper than others. He has cheaper cards, bribery and resourceful, and so it'd be cheaper eventually get him back out, and you'll probably see him come out and fight you more so than the other agents. Now we're moving into the heavy hitters. These are guys that when they show up, you're kind of afraid of them. I mean, Baron Zakareth here, when he shows up in his second form, look at that. He rolls a blue and 2 red. He rolls a black and 2 grays on defense. Has 20 hit points. And then look at his special abilities. Subdue, Pierce, Direction, Shadow Bolt. He even has this ranged attack that he can attack with. So he's very powerful, has some cool cards that he can attack with, but they're mostly about leading people. Rush of Power, the 2-pronged Gambit, Nefarious Power. He can exhaust this for a hero to add 1 shield to his results. He can make people mess up on their tests. Always Prepared, False Friends. Again, he's like one of those guys that in the beginning you thought he was useful, and he can stop people while they're traveling on the road. Now, I said he was kind of a leader, but a bigger leader, and maybe this guy's not as powerful by himself, but we have yet another pharaoh, Sir Alec Pharaoh, who I believe was dead and came back from the dead, but you can see, look at that, a black, a gray, and a brown for defensive die rolling with 18 hit points, and he's unmovable and has regeneration. But he seems like an honorable knight fighting formation, but you can play Unkillable, where I like this one. When you kill a master monster, you replace it with the white monster when it's been killed. It's like, you thought that giant fell down? Nah, he's just a little bit hurt. So things like that are fun. The Dark Champions, Vengeful Resolve. So I like him. But the 2 biggest guns so far, here we have one, Bolgaroth. This guy is big. He's bad. I love the fact that he has shields on his as his armor plate. I like to think that these are all the people that he's beaten over the years. And he has someone's head. Actually, that's an idol because someone's head wouldn't last very long. But he's a really tough guy with reach and resilient. He causes disease. And that's the thing. All his cards are about causing diseases or affecting people around him. Or, I love this, fetid stench. That's what I've always wanted people to say about me, I guess, huh? So anyway, Weakened Spirit. So he's a big bad guy, but he brings with him just annoyances like this virulent aura about him, poison. And then finally, the last lieutenant we're going to take a look at today is Valendra. And this is one I suspect a lot of people are going to buy simply for the fact that it's a dragon. And it's a cool looking dragon here. And a powerful dragon is Valendra. Look at that, great, probably the most powerful agent in the game. But Valendra is all about treasure. Mine, all mine. The more treasure that's out there, the more threat, and they can move around. The more treasure that's on the map, and if heroes take treasure, they'll get angry, jealous, rage, massive bulk. They can block people. They're shadow guardians of the horde. Again, it's all about getting your opponent with treasure. Punish the weak. Just a great card here where you can, you can basically walk through your enemies. You deal 1 damage for each space in its base occupied that exceeds the target's hero. So if you have a lot of big creatures, you can use this Punish the Weak to walk around and smash them. So folks, that's pretty much all the different agents. I know I didn't go a thorough examination of all the cards, but hopefully that gives you kind of if you can only buy 1 or 2, hopefully this gives you kind of a choice of which one you can buy. Thanks for watching The Dice Tower.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.
There.